There's something about a tea cake that just makes me feel grown up. Feels like I've got all my stuff together and that I'm an adult. So that's what I'm showing you today, how to make my apple and honey tea cake. First up, we've got some butter into a stand mixer. Our second ingredient is some caster sugar. That's going in with the butter, and I'm gonna turn this on now so that the butter and the sugar creams. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So you want to start slow when you're trying to incorporate it, just so that everything doesn't fly out, and then increase the speed as you go. So that's looking beautiful, it's looking all creamy. So as you can see, once the sugar and the butter incorporates and creams together, it becomes quite pale in color. So time to add our eggs in. We're gonna be cracking them in one by one, just to make sure that they incorporate really slowly. 3 eggs here, one by one. Just crack him in, really gentle. That's looking gorgeous. I'm gonna show you it now. I'm just gonna take this off. So this is the kind of texture that you want before we add in our honey, our cinnamon and our vanilla bean. So it's really nice, it's really fluffy, it's really light. So now this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pop some of this honey in here, just a 1/4 cup. We're gonna reserve some to kind of top the cakes with after, once they're done. Got some vanilla bean paste. This is my favorite because when you mix it through, you're gonna see little specks of that vanilla bean. Got a little bit of cinnamon here. So this kind of goes so beautifully with apples that it's just definitely a must. I'm gonna pop this back onto the stand mixer and just let it incorporate. So this is the texture that you want once the honey is incorporated with the vanilla beans and the cinnamon. Time to add in our sifted self-raising flour. So we're gonna add this half at a time just because we want to fold it in really gently. It's all nice and fluffy, the batter, so we don't really want it to kind of knock out the air. Just fold, 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 fold. The eggs and the self-raising flour really helps the tea cakes rise, and that's exactly what we want. The other half can go all in. Nice little fold. It's gonna be quite doughy now. It's gonna thicken up a lot, and that's exactly what we're after texture-wise, but if you feel it, it's gonna be quite soft as well. That's looking gorgeous and really well incorporated now. We're just gonna pop them into our little tins. So I've pre-greased some little teacup tins here, just mini loaves. What we want to do is kind of put about that much just to fill up half of the tin in each, because we are going to pop in half an apple as well, which will really lift up the rest of the cake. So I'm just cleaning them up a tiny little bit, making sure they're all lovely. That's looking great. Perfect. All right, time to get our apples in. 2 apples here. We're just going to give them a little bit of a slice. I want to kind of get 3 cheeks out of each apple. So I've got a fun little tip for you. If you want to slice anything and you don't want to go all the way through, pair of chopsticks, and then you can just slice all the way down, and the chopsticks kind of stop it from cutting all the way through, which is really clever, because then you kind of can just go at the speed that you want to, and you don't have to worry about slicing the whole apple off. So this is what we want. We want kind of little slices of the apple, but we want to keep it intact at the bottom. That's going to go straight into our little mold here. Push it down a little bit, just so that the batter kind of engulfs the apple. We're going to get rid of these sides, just so it fits in the mold. Repeat this, and we're going to do that to all 6 basically. All right, so that's our last apple done. That's gonna go into that batter again. We're just gonna quickly sprinkle the top of the apples with the, I always get this wrong, demerara, okay, you get what I'm talking about. The really thick kind of coarse brown sugar. What happens here is it caramelizes over the top of the apple, which is really beautiful because it adds a little bit of bitterness and sweetness to the tea cakes. The reason that I've kept the skin on is I kind of like it when that skin of the green apple burns a tiny bit. It adds a different kind of texture. So we're just gonna sprinkle that on top. So that's all done. I'm just gonna pop these guys into the oven at 180 for about 20 to 25 minutes. So my tea cakes have come out of the oven. They've had time to cool down now. So I'm just gonna get them out of the pans here. So really something I love about the Rago pans is they just come right out. You don't really have to line them, which is perfect. I don't have to worry about it getting stuck. We're gonna drizzle this with just some of that beautiful honey, just to kind of remind us of the ingredients that are going in. Absolutely gorgeous, just a nice little drizzle. Little finishing touch is a tiny bit of icing sugar. That's all done. That's my apple and honey tea cakes. Give it a go at home, you're gonna absolutely love them.